welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting live from Lagos. Here are the main stories making our headlines this hour. The PDP insists that the suspension of the CBN governor is in order, but the opposition, the APC, links his suspension to the alleged missing $20 billion oil fund. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, visits former President Olusegun Obasanjo, says he, just like the former president, remains with the PDP. The president remains optimistic that Nigeria will overcome the numerous challenges currently facing it as a nation. And Ukraine's Speaker, Alexander Turchinov, is appointed interim president, replacing Viktor Yanukovych. I read up details on all our top stories on our website, ChannelsTV.com, and on YouTube.com/channelsweb. As to get us on the move, then you must visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. Remember, you can download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. And interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature as well on our Android and Windows 8 platform. So if you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap on the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, then follow the instructions to share your reports, pictures, and your videos. To politics now, and in the midst of speculations and political permutations, including party defections, the House of Representatives Speaker Aminu Tambuwal remains resolute that he remains with the People's Democratic Party. After a closed-door meeting with former President Olusegun Obasanjo in Ogun State, Nigeria's southwest region, Mr. Tambuwal told journalists that he came to consult with the former president on critical national issues. He goes on to say that he, just like the former president, has not left the PDP for any other party.
The issues on PIB that we are considering in the House, we are doing constitutional amendment in the House, and a host of other very key and important legislations that are before the Parliament. So we needed to consult our leaders on such very important and vital legislations before we conclude what we are doing on them. And the Electoral Act is likely to be amended. So from his experience, his wealth of experience, we needed some input from Baba. So myself and Baba are in PDP.
House of Representatives Speaker Aminu Tambuwal, and Nigeria can be a better place to live in when those in authority use their positions in the interest of the nation. President Goodluck Jonathan made this statement while responding to the sermon by senior pastor of Dunamis International Church in Area 1 of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The president commended the church for interceding on behalf of the nation in the midst of daunting challenges and asked them not to relent. Our State House correspondent, Chukwuma Onekwusi, reports.
A tumultuous crowd at the Dunamis International Church in Area 1 in the Federal Capital Territory welcomed the president. He says visiting other churches to worship is going to be a regular now for the presidency. The senior pastor gave time for heated praise and worship to thank God that irrespective of the darts thrown at the country, Nigeria will continue to grow from strength to strength. Speaking on the anti-practices covenant, the pastor said it is possible to be blessed in Nigeria by being upright.
Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 11. As the partridge sitteth on eggs and hatcheth them not, so he that gateth riches and not by right, he shall leave it in the midst of his days, and at his end he shall be a fool. Getting it without right makes a man end as a fool. You know, the challenge of our land is when you are preaching a preaching like this, Somebody may be looking at somebody else and say they are not talking to me.
In his goodwill message, the president told the church that he appreciates the intercessory prayers at a time when the nation is having its own fair share of challenges. And on the message of the day, the president said Nigeria can be a better place when people respect the names they bear.
And of course, I will now go to even the religious aspect. Even in social setting, I've been privileged to be a deputy governor from there to the president of this country. But let me tell my brothers and sisters that the happiest people in this world are not the big names here. I'll just summarize it that way. Not the big names. But if God gives you the privilege to have a big name either by making big money or by holding a high profile office, you have to do it and use it to serve God. I'm not saying people should not, but it's not a big name. And I believe if all of you keep to such teachings, Nigeria will be a better place for all of us.
Dr. Paul Emenche prayed for greater strength upon the president as he leads a nation as diverse as Nigeria.
The will of God be done, for the Most High ruleth in the affairs of men.
They also committed Nigeria into the hands of God. For them, every decision taken in the interest of the nation must be upheld. That way, the destiny of the nation will be realized. Chukuma Onwebisi, Channels Television News.
To security now, Nigeria's northern governors are again asking the federal government to deploy more troops to the region. The governors believe more security personnel with superior military equipment is urgently needed to help boost morale for effective fight against insurgents and other security threats in the region. Reacting to the killing of 29 people in the Bakin Ladi local government area of Plateau State by unknown gunmen on Saturday, Chairman of the Northern Governors Forum and Governor of Niger State, Alhaji Mazi Aliyu, has asked for a view of the military's counter-insurgency strategy to protect innocent lives. Governor Aliyu also states, quote, while we Northern Governors agreed in our last meeting in Kaduna to deal decisively with the fast-growing security challenges being posed by the activities of cattle rearers, we call on the federal government to consider a national policy to settle nomads and provide adequate grazing reserves and cattle routes. Meanwhile, the governors praised the military for restricting trans-border movements between Nigeria, but the governors say they have resolved to vigorously pursue employment and youth empowerment programs as a way of taking idle youths off the streets. Well, according to a report from the Ministry of Education, over 69 billion naira meant for the development of tertiary education in the country is yet to be accessed by universities, polytechnics and colleges of education since 2009. That fund is in the custody of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. The report, which was made available to the media in Abuja, also stated that states have failed to access about 50 billion naira from the Universal Basic Education Fund between 2010 and 2013. Funding the education sector was a key issue when the Academic Staff Union of Universities embarked on an industrial action which lasted 5 months. Funding was a major issue at the presentation of the 2013 annual report of the Ministry of Education. According to the report, universities are yet to access 33.65 billion naira between 2009 and 2012. As of 2012, 59 universities should be beneficiaries of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. Polytechnics did not access 18.07 billion naira within the same period. 51 polytechnics should be benefiting from the fund. 54 colleges of education should have benefited from the 18.23 billion naira TET fund, which has not been accessed. The Supervising Minister of Education lamented the situation.
If you calculate this, what you have is not less than 50.1 billion of unaccessed funds, and these are part of the challenges we are talking about. Now, if this fund is kept idle, what is the effect of it in the growth of education?
The situation is the same with the Universal Basic Education Fund, as Bayelsa and Ebonyi states did not access their grants, which was 65 million naira in 2010. In 2011, 12 states did not access 3.8 billion naira, and 15 states did not access 12.5 billion naira in 2012. Last year, only 5 states accessed their UBEC funds, leaving 33 billion naira unaccessed by states. The Minister of Information urged states and local governments to play their role to improve the sector.
Let state government do the things they're supposed to do. Unless local government do the things they're supposed to do. At the federal level, there is no miracle we can do to transform, say, primary education and secondary education. Because the bulk of the responsibility lies there. The grant we give, 50% are there. They can't be accessed.
The federal government says it is committed to improving the education sector through adequate funding. This position was re-echoed by the National Universities Commission while lamenting the rush for tertiary education in Ghana by Nigerians.
Universities are not affiliated to even universities in Ghana, to overseas institutions. Poor resources and students with poor grades and Nigerian students in Ghana.
The government is hoping that education in Nigeria will be a major driver of the economy by ensuring that the right infrastructure is in place for quality education.